All right. It is the Chief bonding with board games and RPGs. We are live with what I'm calling our Maze Rats Adventure Player Participation Viewer Participation Show. So we already have Never Fear is in. All right. And so I'd asked Never Fear, and I'll do a recap and a couple things here in a second. Where were we headed after fleeing the bar brawl? So I'm going to leave that up for now. We'll go with this. Hey, Chief. How you doing, Never Fear? So real quick, this is Ben Milton's Maze Rats. Now, I printed this off Drive Through RPG. He has a Kickstarter going right now for Knave 2E, and Maze Rats is like an add-on that you can put in for that order, or maybe even buy on your own. I think I went in with kind of everything. So, but you can go to Drive Through Review and get the PDF Drive Through Review, Drive Through RPG. Hello, and pick this up if you want. So, Ref Tom Green is in as well. Welcome. So let's pop back over here. So know that there's only a few days left on this Kickstarter. It's already been way huge, $500,000 successful. But if you want to get in on that, please do that. That is what we're using for this. Maze Rats is this like very open-ended adventure type style OSR thing that we're doing here. And I'm doing player or viewer participation to help come up with decisions. On that note, I'm going to share the screen real quick because I'm also using Mythic. This is the fate system, the fate chart for Mythic that'll help me run solo things. And we had an interrupt scene, more on that as we play. And in that interrupt scene, we had a quest from a curiosity shop to recover some royal robes. And then there was this kind of ambiguous event. And one thing that's hard about doing this live is that sometimes it can slow down. Sometimes I'm trying to move it up. And if something doesn't come to me right away, I'll just keep going. But I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, no, I just hit remove. No, add to the screen. Oh God, that's what happens when I go into the wrong button. See if it'll come up now. There we go. See, I get distracted. So the happy wargamer came over in comments. So this is what I'm also going to say is I've got folks that'll come into the chat, and I'll be watching that. Never Fear helps me out on that a lot as well. And you guys can add stuff in. Never Fear even has a character that didn't start in that's in. So I'm not guaranteeing that'll happen, but you guys and gals, anybody watching can come in and participate in the show. The Happy Wargamer even put this comment in later after the show had aired. So he says the event had going back to the inn could also be a clue for the royal clothing that was requested for you to find. That was from the curiosity shop. So I said, I love that idea. Happy Wargamer, detail it out some more, and I will update that event at the beginning of episode 5, which is where we're at now. So he then adds in, I think I'm going to have to come over here and scroll a little bit or pan down. We'll see whatever. Maybe I just need to remove this so you can see it. There we go. I have to say that at the start that I've never played an RPG. So take that with that understanding. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So stepping, again, we're not into the game yet. I know this could be a little slow, but part of what this is folks that have never even played an RPG have this chance to kind of dabble. And you can throw in ideas, you can just observe, but you can be kind of as active as you want. Now, it's not a guarantee I'm going to take your idea. There could even be converging different ideas. But this is what I'm looking for. So we're going to do this. This is going to be part of the lore around these royal robes that Stratford, I think, from the Curiosity Shop wanted us to recover or steal. Wasn't real clear. When you did the roll, so I did in Mythic, you'll do these interrupt scenes that can happen. I won't go into all that now, but we did a roll and there was a series of little, create lies, change adversity, usurp pain. And in that, it was, it also said it was an ambiguous event. So we kind of just went with this, like there's there's always some stuff going on in the background. He adds in that we had protesting against the ruling class is what we had. So he thought that the leaders or leader could be lying about being the chosen people to rule that, and that the robes are kind of an embodiment of this power, kind of like the sword for King Arthur. And so that they have some fake robes. And so in the background, there's this high intrigue of power and control in this city that we're in, which is a coastal city that's kind of like, think the UN building, but the whole city's like that. It's all about diplomacy and kind of some of that high political drama going on. We're nothing. We're nothing in regards to that. We are poor folks that have just come in trying to find jobs and get money. The people knowing, what do we got? Arthur, so these robes showed the right to rule. The people knowing, for feeling that the robes that the upper class had were fakes and that the person that had the real robes could rule. The people may know something about the real robes and the location of these robes and who is the rightful ruler of this city or nation. So, come back over to me without hitting the wrong button. So that's going to be part of the lore here. So I love this. This is post show, but we're going to put that in there. It's like this higher concept, this higher political intrigue that is going on. And we have picked up an optional job, which we know nothing about how to go get, which is the royal robes. We need to get the royal robes. So that is now placed in this lore. Doesn't mean we have to go get it right now. It's in my notes. And we have an idea of there's some power struggles at the high levels. So let me come back to this because 1911 also has a personal quest that he has coming out. So this is a good start if you want to get into TTRPGs. Yes, I agree. And that's why I wanted to spend a little time before we jumped into the show on this one. And Never Fear 1911 update, you had, I can't remember off the top of my head, but you had a personal quest that Finn the Peddler had asked for assistance on, and Chadwick, never call him Chad, said he would assist on that. If you can update just a little blurb on that, I will show that as well. And then I have some questions for the viewers that are in here, including Never Fear and Ref Tom Green and anybody else that wants to chime in, but you can just sit and watch as well. I'll keep things moving. I'll make picks. It's not always going to be fair. It could be very arbitrary. Part of that is I'm trying to keep it moving, but I love the idea that the different ideas will pop in. This is how a good adventure game goes. It's not just the DM. It is the players that create. And in this story, the way Maze Rats works, it's so good. I'm running a West Marches campaign with folks that come to the house right now. Is that I don't know where this is going to go. I haven't done a lot of prep. Now I'll do a little bit more prep for the folks that are coming over here. I have some NPC names and different factions and stuff I can repurpose and places they can go delve. I haven't done that for this. So this could be a little choppy, but Maze Rats allows you to do it on the fly. And part of what I wanted this show to show is doing it on the fly. Doing it on the fly. So we will cover some of that here. Never Fear just came up, and let me put this up here. So Finn, this is Finn the Peddler, his character, who is transported into this. We didn't know this starting off. By the way, I have a goat named Glad as well, who was a hero in episode 3, I think. Go watch that. But Finn is after a man named Baltazar. Very nice. Baltazar Tumbler, who is sarcastic, who is a poisoner with a rosy appearance and a melodious mannerisms. Very cool. Okay, he's after a man. So this would be something we could go do or follow up on. I wanted to throw some other options out there as well. Obviously, we got the intrigue with the robes. We don't know where that could go or what we would do. So some other things we might do. We could explore the city. This is this huge seaport, diplomatic UN type conjunction of things from all over the land that we're in. And we could explore that. So it could be a simple exploring deal where I'd probably keep a loose track of how the city's working out on my note just to see where are we at, what district. Maze Rats has a deal that allows you to move through districts and things. Let me see what else. I haven't thought of why he poisoned someone that I care about or group people that I care about. Sure. Another thing we could do, we could return to the curiosity shop and just try to get more details on the royal robes or this political intrigue. So that's an option. We've been there. We know that's there. Stratford and his wife run it. What, Zora, maybe? We could go back to the Bleak Moon. That's where we left Lord Vorp, who was ends up getting knocked out. Adelaide runs that. She was a little upset. We left, though. We weren't the ones picking the fight. We did pay for a room there and a meal, which we never got. And she has jobs in secure storage. We could simply leave town. We don't need to stay in this town. We could leave. Although I like the threads that are going on in here. So I would probably lean away from leaving. And we could go find a new inn. There's a whole chart in Maze Rats for rolling up inn names. We could go find one, and we could go stay at a new place. I think we need to issue. We need to issue at the bar. Resolve the issue at the bar. Is that what you're saying there? Do you want to go back to the Bleak Moon and see what's up with Adelaide and try to make good? Godwin was the guy that started the fight. Lord Vorp, we tried to pacify the group. Lord Vorp just sucker punched, I think Godwin, knocked him out. Adelaide, that pissed her off. He elbowed her in the face, knocked her out. We rolled randomly for a table of thugs that were with Godwin. There were 6 of them, and the random roll was a 6-sided die. And yes, he's saying resolve the issue at the bar. Okay, I'm good with that. We're going to return to the Bleak Moon. We have paid for room and board there. And then the table of 6, but they can only get to Lord Vorp 1 at a time, or 2 at a time, because he had the bar to his back. He knocks out the first guy, but the second guy, boom, cleans his clock and puts him down. Didn't kill him, just knocks him out. Okay, so next would be to talk to Stratford about robes and a political intrigue. Got it. All right, well, we've got some marching orders. So we're going to step back. We drew Cold Steel, which actually made Lord Vorp pretty mad. He's an aristocratic kind of pugilist, apparently. And he did not like the fact that we drew Cold Steel. But in Maze Rats, you can die quick. OSRs, you can die. Even though this is a brawl. We drew Cold Steel, tried to exit. Lord Vorp got mad, tried to get the group to join him in order of us, but we'd not talked any trash. We'd not sucker punched anybody. And we rolled for it, but they focused on Lord Vorp and they knocked him out. Vorp will bite the player, said, this probably isn't the kind of game for me. Although he did some cool things. Again, go watch episode 3 if you want to see some wild, cool stuff. All right, let's get into the gameplay. So we've got Chadwick Dunlow. I always want to call him Dunworth, but it's Dunlow. And we've got Finn the Peddler. That's us. And we've each leveled up. We can pick up experience. We'll be getting at least 1 for playing here today. And again, anything can happen. And anybody viewing, as long as it's live, chime in if you think you have an idea or you have some kind of clarification. I think we probably wander for a bit. I want to see, does anything happen while we're wandering before we come back? So I don't think we would pop out and be back in 10 minutes. I think it would still be kind of a problem, and Adelaide would probably still be knocked out. But never fear, I'll ask you first. Do you think we would just come right back and maybe check on Adelaide, or is it still going to be too heated? If we go right back, I won't roll for a random event. But if I don't think we normally would, but I'm going to defer to Finn the Peddler on this. I think Chadwick talks quick and he says, Finn, I think we got to go back and check on Adelaide. He elbowed her, put her to sleep. It could be dangerous, but I'm a little worried about her. I think we got to go back, not to mention we've already paid for a meal and room and board. I think it's only been about 10 minutes. I'll try to pull these up. It's only been about 10 minutes since we left. And this is us walking away realizing, okay, hey, we didn't start that brawl. We didn't want any part of fighting with 7 people. And we bailed. But I'm worried about Adelaide. She actually, Finn, she, gave me a free beer, bottom shelf, yes. But in that first job, and kind of got me back on my feet when I first showed up here in town. And I'd like to go back and check on her. All right, so yeah, we should go check. So I think we're only 10 minutes out, so I won't roll for a random event. We're going to turn right back around. She should probably still be knocked out, but stepping back into that bar will be the tense situation. We know there was a table of 7. 2 of their guys got knocked out. And then one of them, and Vorp's still in there, knocked out. We know that when we left. The other guys in the bar would still be pissed at us, even though we didn't start the fight. Right. Yeah, they would be. And under, this is like your will, which my will is 0. My skills are strength 1, dexterity 2, will 0. It's personality, willpower. Let me see. Finn the peddler, if I have it down, your will is 1. So I think we're going to be doing a personality kind of thing. Finn does have medicine. He could help Adelaide. Okay, I like it. There's an option that we're going to come in and just try to help Adelaide. We step back in and so that door creaks open to the Bleak Moon. This is Adelaide's inn/secure storage place. That door squeaks. We step in. And not much has changed other than Vorp is down. We left, I think, before he got knocked out. Excuse me. But you can tell, there's like wet towels on people. There's people are still laid out on the floor. I think somebody's brought Adelaide, let's just say, up onto the bar, like one of her backroom guy that brings kegs and stuff around that knows us. And boom, she's up on the bar. So the first thing I want to check is I just want to see when we come in, what are we greeted with? I actually think it's going to be somewhat likely, we're going to be rolling for a yes, that it is like verbally hostile. So somewhat likely means 65 on a percentile die, 65 or less. Yes, it's verbally hostile. So this could be extreme yes, which what I would take as like violently hostile. Or the extreme no, which would be above that, which would be they welcome us. 39. So we come in, that door squeaks in, we get a lay of the land, and someone goes, we see Vorp down, and someone goes, hey, there's the friends. Now, you've got a better personality than I do, Finn. I think with your willpower roll, you get a +1. So this is a danger check. Danger checks, again, I still think it's still more fisticuffs. Nobody's dead here. It wasn't cold steel battles. But you've got to get a 10 with a roll of 2 6-sided die. No advantage here. And you're only going to get a +1, Finn. So let me know the words you say, and I'll put it up on the screen, and then we will get your roll. So Finn won't be tending to Vorp, laugh out loud. Finn has medicine. Got it. Maybe that's even what you say. We're here to help Adelaide. I like that. You said, hey, we're here to help Adelaide. I've got a little bit of medicine. We didn't start this. Okay, you got a 5 on the roll. So that's I'm assuming you got like a 3-2. What did you get? Or 3-2. That would be 3. I'm assuming you got like a 4-1 or something. What were the 2 numbers on your die roll? And then we would add your willpower of 1. So let me know that. I'll pop it up. Math was not my strong suit when you say on a 5 on that roll. So 3-2 would be okay. 3-1? No. All right, what'd you get? What were the actual numbers, if you remember? And then we'll add the +1. So we're not anywhere near that 10-sided die, or that 10 that we need on this, a danger roll. So we'll get this as it comes in. I like it. We're palms up, other than Finn's holding like a little vial of medicine. And hey, we know Adelaide, we're here. Okay, good. Hold on, friends. We're not here to start a fight. We just want to check on Adelaide and make things right. First of all, it's also very poetic. I like it. You're rhyming there. That's beautiful. Okay, yeah, you had a 1-3. Oh, and you'd already factored in your will. Wow, we're not even close for a total of 5. Good. And we'll do the rolls like that all the time. We'll give us the actual die roll, and then we'll throw in the modifiers, and then we can add that total. Total of 5. Well, that is interesting. So you're not wooing anybody, and I would say the table of one of them was knocked out, their leader was talking. So there's still 5 dudes, and some of them start to move toward us a little aggressively. Now, I don't have a good willpower. And the idea that I would get a 10 on my personality is not very good. I think, okay, I don't want to do cold steel. I've got an idea. What are you saying? That was unintentional, the rhyming. I mean, I loved it. Keep doing it. My guy, he's hot-headed is part of my personality. I'm also a little bit big. I'm listed as corpulent. I forgot to mention that earlier. Rapid fire speech. I don't want to go cold steel on these guys. I'm not looking to get into a death battle, but I am strong. I got a +1, which means raw power, stamina, physical resilience. I pick up a chair up over my head. I'm going to go with this intimidation using my strength and this chair. And they've already, they're trying to tend some things, and I'm going to tell them, and then I'm going to roll. So this is like an intimidation deal, but I'm using my strength with this chair and my large size. And I tell them, we're here to help, but I will clear this room if I have to in order to help Adelaide. All right, let's see what we got here. That was unintentional. Got it. Finn has strength +2. Well, we may need it in the fight here in a second. I've got a dexterity, actually. I think with that, maybe I'm kind of swinging that chair around, making just like, I'm like a peacock, making myself big, whoop, to get the feathers all out. I'm making a ruckus. So I'm going to go with, I'm using my corpulence, my strength as a show of force, and telling them at the same time, we're not here. We want to assist. I'll even buy everybody around. It's either around or this chair to your face. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to give it a +1 with my strength and this like words that I'm saying. I'm still only rolling 2. I think this is going to fail and it's going to end up in a fight, but let's see. Oh yeah, I have a 3-1. So I got a 3-1. Same problem with my +1 with my show of strength here. Apparently it's not working. Any other ideas? Never fear. Yeah, he had his fingers crossed. I may end up be fighting even though we just left. Any ideas from anyone that's observing that can resolve this peacefully? I mean, now I'm definitely threatening. I've got a chair flying around. Fight it is. Can we draw our weapons? I just said I don't want to. I will not draw my weapons, although I've got a chair, which is definitely a bludgeon. I'll be using my strength, not my dexterity, unless I throw it. That's a good idea. I think I might throw the chair at the first person, or maybe only 2 can come, and I'll throw the chair at them. Bribe our way out. All right, I like it. One last ditch. I think Finn, again, with his willpower. I love this idea. I'm got the chair. I'm ready to throw it at the first one and just commence the fighting. And one last ditch. This will be the last time we get is Finn holds up a couple coins. Holds up a couple coins and says, we'll buy a round for God's sake. We will buy a round of beers. We're here to help. We are here to help. Maybe Finn has some information that they will find useful. It's possible. Let's go with this. I like the bribe, buy the rounds under your personality. This is more than likely going to fail again. You've got a +1 under willpower. I like that you're using the idea of we'll buy the rounds. Roll for that. If it fails, the fight is on, and we're just going to be right back into fighting, but it'll be fists. It won't be cold steel. But give me a roll. I like this with the money. So give me your +1 will. Give me another +1 on this roll. So you're rolling 2 dice, and you're going to have a +2 for total on this. And, you know, buying around and some money out, that's not bad. So meanwhile, I'm still being a peacock, swinging my chair around. And you're like, let us buy around. We're here to help. So let me know, do the roll, put up your dice numbers, and then show the +2. If we can get to 10, it's a successful danger roll. Oh, so close. 5, 2 on the dice, bringing us to 9 with the +2. Fail, barely. I like it. Here's what I think happens. With that, I'm going to take that in a little bit, though. I think there's a couple of their people saying, come on, you know, they're trying to help. They want to buy a round. You know, there's always somebody that's like, I could use a round. So with that, we're so close. 2 of them are like, hell with that. And they're coming at us, 2 of them. So we're down to 2. I'm going to use my my dexterity of 2, and I'm going to throw the chair at the first one that's coming right at us. I'm going to roll with it. This is a danger roll. We're going to be they're going to roll as well. Well, no, this is just like a thrown object, so we're not into the fight yet. Let's see. Oh God, terrible. 2-1. 2-1 plus the 2 is 4. The chair totally misses, flies right on by, and that guy says, hell with you. And in he comes. So how many of the guys are there? There's 2 coming at us. The other ones liked your idea of the roll for initiative. I was going to throw the chair, so I had range, and even if they moved, that was going to be my first deal. So I didn't need initiative on that one first because I'm doing like a ranged attack. That's how I see it. I'm already swinging this thing around. Here they come. I chuck the chair. Seems to make sense. So I get what you're saying, but boom. I'm skipping that roll, and I threw the chair, which totally did not work. So the 2 guys are on us. Now, I will roll to see if you're going to get a shot in. I think my chair toss was it. Let me roll for them. Never fear. You roll for you, and I'll tell you what we get. Wow, they get a 4. So they dodged the chair. I want to know what you have. Well, you can do what you want for Finn. I still think we're into the pugilistic side. We're down to just 2. But I mean, if you draw daggers and cut them, I think we're going to be back into a problem. But you run your character based on your character. That's how we ended up with Glad the Goat. Glad's with me, by the way. When I get a chance, I'm going to unleash Glad. 1 on a D6, so they come in first. The good thing is, I want to know, I totally forgot the Glad is tied to my belt with a 5-foot hemp rope. The odds are that he's going to headbutt somebody, but we're going to let them go first. I think Finn, let me get this up here. I think Finn doesn't want to kill them. Okay, good. So let's just go pugilistic fight. Yeah, we're going to grapple. So this will be strength. It could be dexterity. I mean, but I'm corpulent. I don't know how I'm corpulent with a +2 for speed, agility, and precision. So much for the precision with my throw. Glad will get a chance to headbutt, but they have the initiative. And I think it's 1-on-1. So this will be opposed rolls. These are not hit the danger level. It's going to be opposed rolls is what I want to do. I'm not sure if that's how the rules work, but we're going to keep it flying. I think opposed rolls will be a little faster. So do me a favor, Finn. You're going to roll for the guy that dodged the chair that's coming right at me. We're going to both roll these. I need to give them their strength real quick. I think, let me see. All right. So the guy I'm fighting, if it's it's either strength 0, 1, or 2. So 1, 2 will be strength 0, 3, 4, 1. Of course, it gets a 6. My guy's got a +2 strength. Let me make a note. +2 strength. All right, we're not going to do all the other stuff. We're just trying to go here. Let's see. Okay. And your guy, AC is, I missed it. Let's see. I know you have 2. AC is 7 for me. HP is 6'6" for me. Yeah, I'm at 6'6" as well. So it's just your armor. I don't think it's armor class, but you're at 7. That's fine. And what I want you to see is what the strength is. Roll a die. Tell me what the strength is of your guy. Mine's +2. So again, you're hoping for a 1, 2, and he's a 0. They're going to get the first shot on us here. Hey, we came back to help. I think Lord Vorp's laid out there somewhere. Once you get that, let me know. And then, okay, what do I do? Just roll a single die first. I want to see, I rolled a 6. This is going to be the strength of the person you're fighting. So if it's a 1 or 2, he's strength 0, 3, 4, 3. Okay, so he's going to be strength +1. So the guy you're fighting is strength +1. I'm going to add in that these are lower level guys. Let's just give them an HP. They both have an HP of 4. So we both have an HP of 6. So we've got some more room to move on here. And at the effect of maybe slowing this down, initiative, one-sided than the other, move, ambush, no, leader, ambush, no, could have advantage. I was trying to remember, do we do opposed rolls? See, I work with too many systems. Or is it simply the attack roll? Yeah, it's 2d6 plus the attack bonus. I do have a +2 for my attack bonus. I'm a fighter. And attack roll compared to then the armor. So we'll just do it real simple. They're going to roll first. I'm going to roll for the guy attacking you who's getting a +1. So he's coming in and attacking you because he has initiative. And he's got a 6, 4, 5, a 4 and a 2. So he got 6 +1, 7. And looking at your character, which is you had your armor is 7. So he has to exceed it to start doing damage to your I don't have an attack bonus. Okay, yeah, that's fine. On this, he didn't exceed. So he comes in and he hits you, but it's like he catches your leather on your shoulder or something. Yeah, it's just no AC, it's just armor. So armor is everybody starts with 6, and then you should have light armor, which gives you a +1. You don't have a shield, so you have 7. So you have 7 armor, and he didn't get through it. Now, you roll for the guy coming at me. He gets a +2. So do your roll, put it up on the screen. This guy's taking a shot at me. He gets a +2. So he's rolling 2 6-sided die, +2. And I am totally the same. Let me look at my sheet. Yeah, defense, same. I've got it's armor. My personal defensive armor is 6 with a +1 with my light armor. So if never fear, you're going to roll and then put the dice up on the number wise, and then you're going to add +2 because this thug coming at me. Woo! I love it. So he got a 1-1 on the dice with his +2, which is just 4. Love it. So he comes in, and I'm able with my agility to kind of dip it. I kind of dip it. I've got a good little dip, and I kind of step underneath his shot. I like it. I think with me, what that's going to do is I'm going to have an advantage. I'm making this up as I go, but it seems right. I'm going to have an advantage, which means I'll roll 3 dice when I strike back at him. So he had such a terrible roll, even with his strength. I'm going to get a little advantage on getting a shot back at him. But it's now our turn. So let's see. Yep. Never fear. Love that. Yep. I'm agile for a corpulent guy. Yep. That's the deal. I've got a +2 dex. So even though I'm big, maybe maybe I'll lean up. So let's go with your action first. You're going to hit. You're using your strength. You have, where's your sheet? You have a +1 strength. We're into a fist fight. Why don't you explain what you're going to do? Never fear what Finn is doing. And you're going to get a +1 to your roll. And this will be your attack back on your attacker. Remember, he's got an HP of 4 And let's just go with a clean defense or armor of 6. I think they're just wearing regular clothing. They're not wearing leather armor. Sounds good to me. Keep her moving. I think maybe they're a little drunk too, which is why I'm giving us a little bit of an edge, and it's fun. So as soon as you've got your description of what you're doing, go ahead and roll your 2 die, add a +1, show those numbers up on the screen, and I'll bring them up. I've dipped and ducked my guy coming at me, who's a pretty strong dude, and I'm going to give him a shot with advantage in a second here. As soon as we get Never Fears in, we're going to roll for that. I'm hoping we can put these guys to sleep. We're not trying to kill anybody, put them to sleep pretty quick, and then come in and help Adelaide. I think as we're doing this, I'm still saying, hey, we're just here to try to help. But my God, man, you're swinging on me. I'll take you out. I'm going to feint and then strike a left hook. Boom. As the feint, and then come in with a right. Love it. And you got a 2-5 on the dice. So then you're going to add 1 to that. So you're at 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and they only have a defense of 6. So you're leaking through with 2. Yeah. Oh, you have a +2 strength. Ooh, sweet. Sorry, I was looking at my guy. What am I looking at? Maybe you must have improved that last time, maybe. Or I've got it wrong. All right. So you've got a +2 strength. Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7. So I got myself all confused. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had a defense of 6. So you've taken 3 off. Your little right to him almost knocks him out. He's only got 1 HP left. Morale check. He's hurt. He's hurt hard. Sure. So I've got to remember. I don't have in my notes. I'd have to look here on a morale check. But I like that you've added it in. I think morale would be his will. I didn't roll for his will, so I'm going to roll using that same system we have. He has a will of 5, which means it's a +2. So his will is +2. So we're going to give him a +2. I'll roll for his morale, +2 to this. We'll just do that if it's above 7, it's good, I think. We'll just 3, 4. Okay, I got a 3, 2. +2, so 5, 6, 7. He's right on that midline. That's what I'm going to use here rather than a danger roll for him. So I think his morale's shaking a little bit with that shot, but he doesn't turtle. He doesn't turtle for you right there. But you're close to putting him down, and he's a little wobbly, and you can see fear in his eyes. You see the fear in his eyes. Now, I'm rolling advantage. That means I'm going to have 3. I've ducked the big fellas. That was a terrible way to hold up the die, like a cupped hand that you couldn't see anything. I'm going to roll 3 dice with advantage. I'm going to drop the lowest, and my strength is only +1. So I'm going to put down what this is. Oh, yeah, 5, 6, 2. See if I can show 5, 6, 2. So we got a 5, 6, 2. The 2, see, I'm doing it reverse. The 2 is gone, and then I add 1. So I ended up with 12. Perfect. Remember, they only got HP of 4. That's not a critical. If I would have had double 6s, critical doubled the damage. The bonus got me up to 12. Their defense is 6. So then I've got 6 to leak over. They've only got an HP of 4. So that ducking it in and coming around, I don't think I hit him in the face. I think I come in with this like rib liver shot. Boom. And it just, and he's pain. Maybe I broke a rib or 2, and he kind of wobbles back. I didn't put him to sleep, but he's holding his rib cage, and he wobbles back and just finds himself sitting down in a chair, and he can't breathe. I'm taking his wind, maybe broken or bruised his ribs. Heck of a shot. Right to, I don't know, liver. I've never been a boxer. I'm not a pugilist, but he didn't want to hit him in the face, didn't want to knock him out, but boom, he got a good body shot in. And so that fella's down. You got fear in your guy's eyes. I think what that gives you, and seeing his buddy go down, is Finn, the ball's in your court. you can strike first. I'm giving you the initiative to go first. You can chat with him and try to get him to turtle up now that his friend's down, or you can just try to get a hit on him and knock him out. I'll probably turn and help you out in a second. But what do you want to do? Give you some chance to come up with that. I like it. That's good. My guy's sitting in the chair. And again, I'm talking to the crowd. I'm like, we're not here. We're not here to fight everybody. We came back to help Adelaide. She helped me. She helped us. We're here to help her. Lord Vorp had no idea he was going to start punching everybody in the face. Didn't know that was going to happen. And we came back. We didn't want to leave bad terms. We just weren't looking for a fight. Sorry, we drew cold steel. All right, what are you doing? Never fear. All right, there we go. Finn wants to tell the guys to stop, that Finn doesn't want to hurt him. Got it. Love it. You're going to go back to using your willpower, which is 1, but you're rolling with advantage. This guy's got fear in his eyes. I just said his fella down. I just had my impromptu speech. Roll 3 6-sided die. You're going to end up adding 1 for your willpower. He's got fear in his eyes, man. You've got the advantage. He knows he's about to get knocked out here anyway. I think you rung his bell. There's my creaky chair, which Never Fear loves. It's a wooden chair. I like sitting on my wooden chair. Little side deal. When you hear the creak, Never Fear hates it. Hates it. Oh, 4 5 on the die. Nice. With your +1, you're at 10. Yep. +1 with the will. Well, I think so. With this, you're at 4 5 9. Yes, and then with the +1 will, exactly, you're at 10. So you've completely gotten through and hit the, I like it. It's the danger side of it. He's kind of blinking and he sees his friend sitting there and he's moaning. And I think somebody, one of his buddies in the background, is like, let him buy us a round. There's always that one guy. He just wants another round. He just wants another drink. And I think you lock eyes with him, Finn the peddler, and you get him to stop. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt you. Just go help your friend. Let us go help ours. Boom. Works. Perfect roll there, Never Fear. Love it. The guy goes over, starts to help the big fella with the bruised ribs or the sore liver or whatever happened to him. And I go over with coin, and there's the big guy that's the barrel mover, and I'm like, a round for the bar. And there's like a, it's not packed, but that always gets a good response. That money's down. I'll take a coin off later. And then Never Fear, you get to work trying to help Adelaide. I see Vorp laying down there on the ground, and I'm thinking, well, he's breathing. I can see he's breathing, but he's out. Is Adelaide awake? No, not right now. And so you want to tend to her. Perfect. Let's see. Give me a second. Be right back. Got it. So you're tending to Adelaide. You've got some kind of medicine. It's going to be obscure. It could be anything from smelling salts, which tends to wake people up. It's stinky. I've never actually smelled smelling salts, but they definitely get people's attention from when I've seen it. I'm picturing a wet cloth, and you're kind of just soothing. And I think that elbow that Lord Vorp gave her to the face kind of crushed her nose a little bit. And, of course, the bloody nose. So you're kind of cleaning her up. Meanwhile, the beers, the ales are going around to the patrons that are there. I'm warily keeping my eye on still, the table with it's 7 people with Godwin, their leader. I got the sore rib guy. The other guy that you tuned up is kind of rubbing his jaw a little bit. And, he's like, wow. And some of those guys are in different states. Because if you think about it, there were 7 of them. Vorp took care of 1, 2, I think Vorp knocked out 2 of them. So there's only 2 that haven't been touched. All right, you're back. All right, so I've got you with a wet cloth kind of cleaning the blood from her Adelaide's crushed nose, and you're tending to her. I think you've given her a bit of nebulous medicine. We don't know what it is, but you've given her a little bit of medicine. All right, good. Here's what you've done. Clean her up, sit her up, and wake her up. Perfect. I've paid for the round. The beers are going around. Um, you know, I think Adelaide comes to and is a little bit like looking around, seeing everything, but her bar's not in tatters. She sees Vorp on the floor and us there and is a little bit surprised, I think, even though she got knocked out before we bailed. She sees beers going around, and I tell her I paid for it. And she says, "Oh, you will." I like it. We can do it like Palpatine. You will. You will. No, she's like, "Oh, you will pay for it." I'm like, "Hey, we paid up for a room. We weren't looking to get into anything. Trouble seems to find us." And she's like, "Duly noted." I like it. She looks over at her barrel man and says, "Hey, they did buy a plate of food. Go ahead and hook them up." And we go sit down at a table with walls behind us. We don't need to get sucker punched with a chair by anybody. And we just try to maintain. So I want a random event for this bar. You know what? Let's do Never Fear's very good about keeping me on task. So the first thing we're going to do is an event focus. I want to just do a random event focus. So this could dovetail in. Where is my scene? So using Mythic, they've got a really nice scene set, which allows you to keep your scenes organized. And I've got characters over in here, and then down here, I've even got some different threads. The threads that are in play is there's something about key number 37. We recovered it, but we don't know what it opens. We got royal robes down there. And then characters could be Godwin, the bar fight head guy, Lord Vorp. It could be Stratford and Zora, who are the Curiosity Shop. And then I've got Finn the Peddler and Adelaide on there. So we are in the Bleak Moon. So the first thing I want to do is, what is the event focus, the random event that will take place? I'm going to roll on right now. It is 56. 56 is PC negative. We've already had trouble, gosh darn it. So that just means it's going to be a negative event for us. A negative event in general for us. I like this. Yeah, you cleaned her up, sit her up, wake her up. So now I'm going to roll on this backside. We've got the action subject. So help me out, folks that are watching, if you want. If this strikes a chord with you or with me, I'll let you know if it strikes something with me right away. I've got 30 even on the top here is break. Okay, so we've got break. So this is a random event that is PC negative. And break, and 79 is vehicle. Okay. We can roll up to 3 times on this to try to get clarity. Break vehicle. We don't have a vehicle. By the way, I forgot for Glad to get a shot in, but I took my dude out. So Glad the goat. Again, check out number 3. Who's at 4? This is for both of us. It just says PC negative. So player character negative, it's a negative event that's going to affect us. So Finn or Chadwick. Just keeping it rolling. We've got 18 on clarification. 18 is move. All right, then I'll go over these. Move, and for subject is 70. 70 is extravagance. Interesting. Extravagance. So this is going to be a PC negative for us. I'm rolling a third time. 75 is refuse. I saw there was something that came up. I'll get to it in a second. Never fear. 46 is food. Okay. So let me see what Never Fear put down here. Vehicle. You can loosely interpret it as what we use to move around, which could be our legs. Very true. Finn or Chadwick slips and hurts his leg. Could be, or maybe it was just in the midst of the fight. I think would make better than just plain slipping. But let's look at it. We've got break and vehicle. Okay, we are just walking. We don't have a vehicle. Move, extravagance. Well, I like the idea. Let's just go with that. One of us their leg is hurt, and now to move would be an extravagant action, meaning that we're having trouble. And refuse food. Refuse food. Well, we're about to be fed. Finn or anybody else, if you have an idea, we have several folks inside on the viewer. We're going to run about an hour, so we got about 10 minutes left. If anybody else has a better idea of what that could be, it does hit me. I like that it's one of us hurt the leg. I'm going to do odd. It's Chadwick. Even, it's Finn. It is odd. Chadwick's knee. I'm corpulent. And that dip maneuver in the punch. And I did take a hit during that time. My leg, it's like Charlie horsed up. And I'm in some pain. Nothing's broken. But I'm like, man. And then, I don't know, refuse food. We're being fed. We can't eat now because of Finn and Chadwick realized their injury. I don't think it's refuse. Refuse food? I think it's refuse. Maybe it is refuse. Okay. No food. How would that tie in with the leg hurting, though? How about this? Our barrel guy, not a fan. I think he brings in like 2 bowls of like what looks to be just a stew. But it looks like he swept the floor and put some of the sweepings into the stew. And we look at it. He's a big fella. He's their barrel guy. He's Adelaide's barrel guy. And he says, enjoy. So he's giving us some crap food. I don't think he knocks it over. He doesn't spill it on us. We can see that there's like he swept the floor and threw it into the soup as like a little, up yours kind of thing. And unless we want to fight him, but I'm like, I think you're a little irritated and you're like, hey, and I'm like, hey, Finn, I jacked up my knee. Just let it go. We let it sit on the table. That works for me, and we got to keep her going. That works for me. We're good. I think with the leg problem, I'm going to need a good rest. And we have paid Adelaide already for a meal, which just ended up not being quite what we wanted. Although I bought the a round for the bar. Yeah, sure, sounds good. I want to know how good is this little, like I tell you, when you give me a little pain elixir. Why don't you roll? And I down 1 medicine. I want to see how well this works. What kind of cure-all? Let's just say it's a pain reliever. I think the alcohol might help actually as good as the medicine. But give me a 6-sided die roll. The 6, so it'll help me I'm feeling great. 1 is to help me a little bit, but I'm hobbling around still and I look a little weak. So with the med use, Chadwick doesn't lose health. We'll see. Do the roll. I want to see how well this medicine works. How does it work with the pain? I don't think like I said, nothing's broken, but definitely 3. All right, right down the midline. So I like your idea. I'm a little hobbled. I still look like, I got a little bit of a limp, but I like the use of the medicine. And we'll just do that. It's an image deal, and it's going to last. My little hobble, how many days? How many days, Charlie Horse? 4. It was almost a 1. But then it rolled off my pad for a 4. So for 4 days, which is fair, I'm going to be limping. Who knows if that means anything? Who knows if that comes in and affects anything? But I'm not. No HP's lost. I've got the limp, and it's bothering me a little bit. So I think that's good. We're running into our time. So we are going to spend the night at Adelaide's. We've already paid. We didn't get the food. So, but we've got a place to stay. We've made peace, both with the buying of the round and fighting in on the last 2. I like it. One thing I want to resolve before we go further, Finn. Lord Vorp is still knocked out. They're just leaving him laying on like the sawdust floor is how I picture it. Do we do anything? Do we do anything? Magnus von Magnuson. Good to see you, sir. So 4 days of waiting. Nope, not waiting. We can walk around. I've just got a limp. So it's just might be something that draws attention. So no waiting. I'll have a limp. We're going to end this with us going to sleep at the Bleak Moon. We paid for our room and board. We got served some crap food from the barman that wasn't thrilled that Adelaide got knocked out, even though we came back. So the question to you or to anyone in the room that's been following along, Lord Vorp was with our party. He was disruptive, but it made the story awesome. Again, if you want to see disruptive and awesome entertainment, go watch episode 3. There's Vorp. What does Vorp say? Chadwick can't climb or run. Sure. Chadwick can't climb or run. Vorpal. Don't you wish your character was hot like me? Don't you wish your character was hot like me? I love it, Vorp. So never fear. Lord Vorp's been knocked out. They're just letting him lay in the dust. Do we help him along? Now, Vorp, you're in here, but you're out. You're passed out. And I know the story-focused role-playing, Vorp has said, hey, it's not really his thing. Totally cool. I'm glad you tried it out. And this will continue to be story kind of based role-playing as we go along. And I'm trying to work on voices. I'm terrible with voices, but I'm trying to put the ROLE into my role play. So I will be working on that as well. So never fear. Do we leave Vorp laying in the dust? Or do we throw him over a shoulder? You would have to, because my leg hurts. And we've paid for room and board. And I don't care. It can go either way. You can even do a die roll if you want fate to determine this. I think we've done good. We've kind of wrapped right back up on the barroom brawl. We sheathed our cold steel, which actually made Vorp pretty upset. So he may not want to hang out with us, even if he was awake. Despite being jolly, I don't think Finn wants to help right away. He is hesitant to have him around. I'm fine with that. Lord Vorp will stay on the character sheet, which means when we do random events, it could be he ends up showing back up. He wasn't killed. He was knocked out. He's left laying there in the dust. Adelaide, let's see. I don't plank. Yeah, we know, but your character still lives in our world, brother. Lord Vorp lives in the world. I'll leave it to Adelaide. It's her establishment after all. Got it. We'll roll for it. The Happy Wargamer, your deal is in if you saw at the very beginning. You have to help your fellow No Man Left Behind. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to leave this to fate. We're going to go with Adelaide. I like that Happy Wargamer says you don't leave behind. I want to leave this up to fate, Happy Wargamer. I hear what you're saying. I think Adelaide, it's probably extremely unlikely that she would just leave him laying there on the ground. I think she would have him drug out of there. But let's go with unlikely. So meaning 35 or less, it's a yes that she's going to just let him lay there in the bar. I think she would have her barrel man drag him out. We got a 46. So I think the barrel guy comes over after giving us our adulterated stew. Don't leave them behind. These guys cut and run out on me last adventure. We came back, brother. We came back. You were mad at us. All right. So the big old barrel guy comes over, grabs Lord Vorp's foot, and just drags him through the sawdust, up some stairs, opens the door to the Bleak Moon, drags him outside around the corner, and just plop. And you're left there to wake up. You will wake up, and we may see you in the future, Lord Vorp. I know this isn't Vorpal Bite, but it's the character that he made. And he exists in our world now. And off Finn the Peddler and Chadwick Dunlow go to get a good night's rest. We've paid up for room and board, even though we got jammed on the food. That is fine. And we hopefully, maybe, might see Lord Vorp in the future, who's a heck of a pugilist, but tends to pick fights and make interesting decisions. I am allowed to keep Glad the goat with me, which is an odd thing, but yes, just a hollow image of the original. You bet. You bet. He may play in. So there's our scene. That was this episode number 6. I actually didn't think we would be returning, so it's very entertaining. Again, we are using, let me find the maze rats. We're using maze rats to run this adventure. We're also using the mythic fate chart and random events and their scene scheduling, which you'll see here. I've tracked the scenes and the characters and all that. Very great systems. I'm enjoying this. So we're out of the game. The scene is we're sleeping. I'm having a good time. I'm still not sure I can do it every weekend because, as 1911 has stated, I still need to film more episodes for the Blade Runner RPG I'm doing with a character named Hack. So I got to get in and get that going. And I've had some board games show up that I have to get played and then reviewed. So there's some things I have to do on that front. And then I've got real work, real family, real life, and my game groups that come to in real life to the house to play as well. But I'm loving this. There's no editing. And it's been really fun. And I love how the happy war gamers come in. Vorpal Bite's been in, seeing the ref, 1911 having all his help. Magnus coming in. Hello, Magnus. Coming in and engaging. And I'm getting more and more folks that are starting to engage even in the comments. You can do that post and throw in ideas. And anything I can get that works, I'll throw it in. No guarantees, but I love the fact that it's kind of living on as we go. Finish the series. Come back to this when you can. Yeah, I will, and I'm loving it. And I wanted to also keep doing it while Ben Milton's Kickstarter is live because it kind of highlights for a few people what Maze Rats can do. What I think Knave 2E is going to do with all the charts that are in there. I have Apocalypse Now, Helicopter Raid on a game table. Awesome. Yeah, your miniature playing is great. Miniatures have never been my thing, but I know it's huge for you and the painting and the setups. XP before you leave. Good point. Good point. Here's my idea. Put a historical miniature battle on your table. I love that. Let's come back and do our XP. So we each get one experience for just being present with our characters, never fear. So we're each going to have one for that. And then the system in Maze Rats is really, really simple. If we overcome a difficult challenge, we get 2 XP. I think we both did. Now, it would be 3 XP if it was an impressive challenge beyond our expected ability. I don't think we did that. But I believe we both get an additional +2. So we're both going to come out of this with +3 XP. We both did very well in the bar fight. I like how we were both fighting, but then also negotiating, buying around. You're calming your guy down, but we're also still willing to get in there and mix it up. So we'll each have 3 XP to take into the next level. My guy had 1 in reserve, meaning he has 4. But to get to level 3, I've got to have 6. So I don't have enough to get to level 3. I don't remember what you had. I also forgot I had an attack bonus of 2 when I got that guy. But my die roll was perfect already. You level up. Perfect. So the leveling up system means that you can pick a, let's see, at this level, if I can get my eyes to work, going to level 3. So you're going to +2 your max health. So you'll move up to 8. And then you're going to pick one. You can pick an attack bonus. So you could go up +1 on your attack bonus, or you could gain a new path, or you could gain a spell slot. And way I like to do it is, I think, listening to some of Ben Milton's descriptions of maze rats. If you're a mage, you're going down the maze, the spell slots, and if you're a fighter, you're doing the attack bonus, and if you're a thief or a shadow mover, or a ninja, then you're moving down the list of other things you could do. But I like to be able to mix it. You want a single spell? You got a single spell slot. Spells are really cool in maze rats. I think I may grab one, even though I'm a fighter, just to see what happens. Never fear. You're going to be 8. Okay, and you go with an attack bonus of +1. So you're moving up on that. I haven't leveled up to level 3 yet. And the next, you're going to need 12 experience to get to level 4. So that's how it works. It just kind of keeps, you got to get more and more and more. And once you get to level 7, your guy retires or gal retires or something else happens if they live. I thought the characters would die, but again, go watch episode 3 to see that they do not die, at least in that episode. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We've added even more folks. And thank you for being here. And as you get more and more comfortable with what's going on, feel free, as things are happening, to throw in ideas or perceptions. Do it in the post. I read all the comments. So like the Happy Wargamer, he had an idea on a scene interrupt that we had. And he got that in after the show had cleared. And I opened up the show with that grander setting that's going on. There's some high intrigue in this city that we're in that we can play around with. Yep, just to hit some of the comments, level 7 is 42 XP. I think you have the sheet, so maybe you're reading level 7. Yep, 42, which is a fair bit. Yes, it is. I will retire my character if Finn makes it that far. Yeah, we can do anything in this. We could end up training warriors and having our own, you can be a general. You can literally go anywhere in this world. It's an adventure world. We can own our own bar. We could be mercenaries for hire. You can literally do anything. I think you will settle down, set up shop being a peddler. Sure. And Vorpal, you guys get your practice, and one day you could be as good a role player as me. Hey, your guy was doing his thing. That's what I love. In role playing, if you know your character, maybe you didn't want the goat to die, who's now named Glad. And so you go to save him, but it throws a wrench into it. We had to adjust to it, and it made for a heck of a story. So far, episode 3 of this has been my favorite, because I was like, are you serious? And you're like, yeah. And then it got better and better and better. So I'm going to sign off just because we're at an hour 7. I know some more people have just come in, but please go watch it in post. Once again, a great episode. I may have to slow things down, although I got some time off coming as well. So I may be able to just get all my other stuff done and still do this, because I really do enjoy it. I'm trying to keep doing them on Saturday. One a week would be great on a Saturday or Sunday. Bye for now. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and helping out and making this show just extremely fun for me, and hopefully entertaining to watch it unfold. Chief, Bonding with Board Games. This is unique stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe, give it a thumb, and hit the bell if you want a notification, baby. See you guys. Bye.